Hey everybody, and thank you so much for joining this subject guidance session for exam preparation for your Term 2 Technology Grade 7 June examination. Topics to be covered in this presentation are as follows. We'll take a look at some administrative details regarding your exam, an overview of your Term 1 and Term 2 work, the exam format that you can expect in the June examination, some helpful study tips, and some interesting resources that you can find on the OLP. This term you will be writing the June examination. Your June exam is task number 3 and your PAT for Term 2 is task number 4. The suggested date for your June exam is Thursday the 15th of June 2023 in session 1, which takes place in the morning. The duration of your exam will be 1 hour or 60 minutes and your exam will count for a total of 60 marks. Let's look at an overview of Term 1 to Term 2. In Term 1, we focused largely on our design skills in Unit 1. Unit 2, we took a look at structures, and in Unit 3, we took a look at mechanical systems and control. While in Term 2, we focused largely again on structures. It is important when studying for your June exam that you make sure that you revise all of your Term 2 work as well as your Term 1 work. So make sure that you refresh your memories and refamiliarize yourselves with all of the units that we did from Term 1 to Term 2. Let us take a look at the exam format for the June examination. You can expect a Section A, Section B, and Section C. However, please note that these sections are in no specific order. In Section A, you can typically expect to find your case study. Section B, you can typically expect to find theory. And in Section C, you can typically expect to find the practical component of your exam where you do your formal or technical drawings. All exams contain questions that integrate knowledge and values with the design process skills. So ensure that you are familiar and comfortable with the design process. The following slides will explain what you can expect in depth in Section A, Section B, and Section C. Let us now take a closer look at Section A. As you can see on the slide on screen, you have a typical example of what your Section A might look like. That includes a case study or reading and questions that follow. In this section, you will be given a passage to read and questions based on the passage will follow. Always remember to read your case study thoroughly and carefully. Pay close attention to the mark allocations for the questions that follow and ensure that you answer the questions fully and provide enough information to fulfill the mark allocation per question. Remember that all of the information you need to answer the questions can usually be found in your case study, so read carefully. However, it might be that some questions require you to have prior knowledge, which is why it is so important for you to study and revise your Term 1 and Term 2 work. Remember to write neatly and legibly, and rule a line after Section A and begin Section B on a new page. Section B is your theory section. As you can see, there is an example on screen of what a typical Section B type question might look like. In this section, you can expect theory-based questions such as true or false questions, multiple choice questions, description-based questions such as match the description in the table with the corresponding letter, as well as longer theory-based questions, including tables, diagrams, and calculations. In this section, it is important that you ensure that your questions are numbered correctly. So if you are answering question 2.2, make sure that you have written clearly on your answer sheet or on your folio paper 2.2 followed by your answer. After you have finished with your Section B, draw a line and begin Section C on a new page. Let us take a closer look at Section C. Section C is the practical section of your exam, and on screen you can see an example of what a typical Section C question might look like. In this section, you will be asked to do formal drawings. These formal drawings must be done on the given drawing sheets. Make sure that you are using the correct drawing tools where applicable, so keep your mathematical sets on hand and ensure that you have a ruler, a pencil, an eraser, and a sharpener with you in the exam session in order to complete your drawings. Where applicable, indicate scale and dimension, and always read your instructions carefully to ensure that your drawing is done correctly. Very importantly for Section C is that you remember to place the views in the correct position on the drawing sheet. And finally, make sure that your drawings are neatly done using the correct line types. Let's take a look at some helpful study tips. It is important to review prior knowledge about a given unit before starting a new unit. Make sure that all content is completed per term in preparation for the term tests and exams. The design process, investigate, design, make, evaluate, and communicate, forms the backbone of the subject technology and is used to structure the delivery of all learning objectives in technology. Remember, it is better to try to answer all questions and not to leave any questions blank. Where applicable, know all of your symbols and acronyms. And again, remember it is important to note that drawings must be practiced. Therefore, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. All drawings must be drawn with the correct drawing instruments, so keep your mathematical sets on hand and ensure that you have a ruler, a sharpener, a pencil, and an eraser. Never erase construction lines. Remember that neat drawings always look better. And do not start studying the night before an exam. Pace yourselves and study little bits every day leading up to your June examination. You can refer to the OLP for previous exam papers. These are excellent resources for practice and preparation. The Optimi Learning Portal has some excellent resources to facilitate your studying for your June examination. Make the OLP your starting point when you begin preparing for your exams. The easiest way to make sure that you are exam ready is to work through past papers. You can download previous papers in the following steps. Log on to the OLP and click on the Resources button. Choose the subject for which you want to prepare, in this case technology. Click on the tab that says Previous Exam Papers, and there you should find previous year's exam papers as well as memorandums in order for you to practice. We wish you all of the very best with your studying and upcoming writing of your June examination. Thank you for joining today's session. If you have any further questions or queries, feel free to send them to info@impact.co.za and they will get back to you with a response as soon as possible.